Welcome or welcome back, whichever happens to apply to you. So last time I demonstrated that I've got the capability to generate push anywhere inside the range of motion of a shoulder press on the rings. Now that said, I want it to be one clean press at some point, going from where the rings are touching my shoulders to all the way up high. And at this rate, I'm kind of wondering if I can make that happen by Thanksgiving. So I took a day off. I'm back at it for my 16th attempt on November 19th. So let's clear the scoreboard and get to it. Okay, attempt number 1. Here we go. We have liftoff into a decent looking L sit. And up we go. Kick the bar a little hard. Up reasonably high. Some push, but it's not really even. That's why you see it kind of be jerky. And that's one thing I do find interesting about the rings is you have to have pretty even push at the same time. Otherwise, it heavily penalizes you. Back to an L sit. Some baby iron crosses that I think look wider every time we do this. And back up we go. The rings are not tucked up against my shoulders, which is quite a bit more difficult to do. A little bit of push. A little bit of push. And another touchdown. I really like that I'm able to hang out kind of there in the middle. Not to say that it's easy, but it's at least possible now. Okay, and that's it for that one. If we go to the scoreboard, that's 64.5 seconds in the air and 2 touchdowns. Okay, second attempt, here we go. Generated a little bit of swinging to start off with. Some more baby iron crosses. Up we go. I like that I didn't touch the bar and I was pretty vertical. Didn't touch down there. Back up. A little bit of push. A little bit of push. A little bit of push. Back down. Very close, but don't believe I touched there. L sit starting to fade a little bit. Trying to get back up again. Yep. And now at this point I'm tucking the rings up against my shoulders to give myself a little bit of a breather. And that's it for that one. So if we go off to the scoreboard, that's 56.2 seconds in the air and 0 touchdowns. All right, third attempt. Here we go. Looks like the baby iron crosses are starting to fade maybe a little bit. It's a pretty gentle impact with the bar. Some push. A little bit more push. More push. Man, I really want that shoulder press. Hanging out there with the rings up against my shoulders. And then a touchdown. So we were up there quite a while. L sit's definitely starting to fade too. And getting a little bit shaky. Trying to go up. And no. So if we go off to the scoreboard, that's 59.6 seconds in the air and 1 touchdown. So on to the next one. Okay, attempt number 4. Let's do it. Up we go. Kicked a little hard. Trying to get a little bit of push in the middle of the range. Close, but did not touch there. L sit is definitely fading. As are those. Touch there. Rings are not against my shoulders. Another touch there. We're going to go for some more. Yes, we are. Okay, and that's it for that one. So if we go to the scoreboard, that's 55.5 seconds in the air and 2 touchdowns. So on to the last one. All right, fifth and final attempt of the day. I'm pretty consistently able to get upside down without my head underneath my hands at this point. Getting a little shaky. Now I've got them tucked up against my shoulders. You see my hands quit shaking. I think we're just doing what we can at this point. Which does not look like it's going to be baby iron crosses. Oh, maybe it will. Can we do it? It's looking like a no. Oh, no. Okay, so if we go off to the scoreboard, that's 47.8 seconds in the air and 1 touchdown. So for the day, as a grand total, we have 283.6 seconds in the air and 6 touchdowns. Okay, so some takeaways and then I'm off to bed. We did have less time, but we also had fewer touchdowns. And it looks like at this rate, we're 1 or 2 more days away from having an hour of total airtime. We got quite a few attempts at some sort of shoulder press motion. And we also managed to get vertical on a shoulder stand once without touching the bar, though it was relatively brief. And it also seems like we have a lot more control in the middle of the range. So, as usual, it does need more work, but that's it for the day. Feel free to check back in or not, up to you.